Ma. Me. La. Oh, that's my phone over here. Check my texts. I'll be live very shortly. Just enjoying my cup of tea. Having a quick look on Reddit. I'll ever hear me slurping. I like to slurp my tea. Get wrecked. I need to do a video on hidden things in 3.13 because there's quite a lot of bits that aren't discussed on the patch notes and things like trade and stuff like that. Is the spinal mount for the Buccaneer even mentioned? Things like that. Hello, I'm BoredGamer. I'm here talking about Star Citizen 3.13, which is now live. But we'll go through all the basics, which I'll talk about my general life as well. Answer questions in the chat, and if you've got any questions that you'd like to ask during the stream, question in brackets, will help me pull it out. I'm pretty. I'm typically quite behind in chat, so just bear that in mind. Probably by 3 to 15 minutes, somewhere around that cycle. So yeah, lots of stuff going on at the moment, and lots of stuff I'm reading on Reddit because I use people's Reddit comments on the patch notes and the comments on the patch notes and bug reports to work out what the hell's going on with a lot of Star Citizen stuff, because I'm only one person. Actually, me and Sin together are 2 people, so we can do maths, whatever. There's only a limited amount of Star Citizen understanding and testing we can have without looking at other people's sort of informations as well. So some people obviously lost their components and stuff. It looks like if you don't unequip them from your ship or your person before a patch moves over, there's a high likelihood that you will lose those equipment pieces. Now, apparently people are getting items that vanished in 3.12, finished in 3.12, so 3.11, 3.12 change and 3.12.1 change. They're getting them back now, some people, which is really interesting. Bed logouts, so that's probably the major issue in 3.13 at the moment, or at least one of the major ones. Don't log out in a bed, because you can get stuck in a forever load and you have to reset your character, things like that. Is it normal to lose half of my stuff, armor, components, and weapons, even after unequipping everything before the patch? It's not normal, but it is uncommon. So it's common enough, is what I'm saying. So, well, not normal. A lot of people have lost some stuff. So, Darkenstein, I'm sorry that you've lost anything. You may get it back in the future, though. It may turn up in like a 3.13.x patch, and when they sort of refresh the database. And what could turn up just in the next week or so, even. And that's a possibility. Hopefully so, indeed. New Babbage always seems to have some form of problem going on with it. So, a lot of people are talking about stability and performance. Now, performance-wise, it's been pretty good for me. 3.13, probably the best frame rate I've had. However, I do have a new PC. So I've got a new, significantly more powerful PC. A lot of people were complaining when they were updating the servers and moving it across. So it seems that a lot of the issues that people had with stability and stuff were when the servers just went live. A lot more people are reporting now that it's a much more stable experience. So I need to do some thorough testing. I've yet to experience a server crash in 3.13 live. I've not played it for more than a few hours though. Did you notice spontaneous deaths because of the new G-force system? Like sometimes I got push upon invisible force when getting out of my ship. No. I've been killed by people tapping me with their ships, though. I've had a much better experience with Star Citizen in the latest patch. However, I do have two 3090s. No, I've got a 2080 Ti that I'm currently running. I'm waiting for my 3080 to turn up. Over 6 months since I bought it. How bad is that? Private Griff. Private D Griff. Thank you very much for the sub. Very much appreciated, sir. So, donations at the moment are going towards some extended CitizenCon coverage that me and Sin want to do, sort of as live and videos as well for the whole thing, just to fund some bits for that, and to obviously I need to get Sin to work on a Saturday as well. Say only a 2080 Ti. Look, I want the top end best hardware, but within price range. Also, I'm not sure if I've got a 3080 or 3090 coming. It's one or the other. I was very, very stressed at one point, and they promised me a 3090 earlier if I pre-ordered it. So I'm not sure if I changed my order up. And I think I started to do that, but I can't remember if it actually went through or not. Also, Gib 3.12. What? I need to update those, clearly. We'll get that changed to Gib 4.0. Yeah, and 3.14. I'll get Sin to update those. Yeah, I'm sorry that a lot of people lost some of their stuff. That is annoying and stressful, for sure. Where do you start these new cave missions at? You get them on Mobilas, do some of the bounty hunting missions, and then you'll have access to them, basically. Bounty hunting missions around like Kirsten, Microtech will give you access to them. You need to do the bounty, not course, but bounty exam. You know what I mean. New deals sold out of Mercury Star Runners immediately. So that's one of the joys. The Nomad, Mercury Star Runner, and Talons are all available to buy in-game now. Yeah? So typically now it looks like they're trying to do a 3-month cycle, which we were talking about a while ago, and saying that was probably going to be the best thing. Give people that buy ships and vehicles exclusivity for 3 months when they come into the game, and then have them in the shops in-game. Perfect. Nice balance between I'm actually going to get that ship in-game and cool, I do want to back it early. Some of the new asteroids that we're showing in the background there. You see those around the Grange points and gas clouds, but they're not updated in the Aaron Halo or around Yellow and stuff like that yet. Actually expecting to see the Aaron Halo pretty soon. Oh yeah, 3070. The 3070 is a great card. Genuinely great card. And if people are looking for hardware, they're like, I need a new graphics card and a new CPU, pre-made PCs are currently your best bet to get that hardware, because they basically, typically shops have a stock that they will allocate to new PCs, and flog your old hardware on eBay, potentially part it up and sell it individually. Even your graphics card's probably worth quite a bit. In some cases, people are having to spend like a couple of £100 on getting a whole new PC because they're flogging their old one. Thoughts on the Talon in the current meta? Too weak, as in it takes a couple of hits, it explodes. Or it seems to. Although I haven't used it much in 3.13, I haven't used it at all in 3.13 live. That's more PTU based knowledge. It was Zin's was just breaking apart from a couple of shots. Was that the Shroud of the Avatar Expo? So, crossbow, yes. So that's the, I can't remember the name of it, crossbow. Futuristic stealthy crossbow. I believe it is the Shroud of the Avatar one, or at least the people that got the Shroud of the Avatar one will be getting that one. If you see what I mean. So we got a new live stream background video that Zin has made. I want to be updating these at least every month, but probably every couple of weeks. Just sort of to inspire and help drive conversation. Oh, so I'll tell you, actually, before we get into a load of the questions and stuff, let's get into what's happening recently in my life. So I just went to the general hospital near my house for a COVID swab, which was an experience because I don't drive, but my mother does. My mother took me to the drive-through there. It's not like for a McDonald's or anything. It's to have a COVID swab. And okay, so what they do with the COVID swab, they have a giant, like, a little bit longer, cotton swab, yeah? And they swab both your tonsils in the back of your throat, which apparently makes some people gag, but to a professional YouTuber, and you've experienced no gag reflex. I'm not sure what that says about me. And then both nostrils as well. So down, and it's down to your. It feels like the back of your throat, but it's quite far in with the same swab, yeah, and both nostrils. Okay, what I don't understand is why do they have to do both nostrils? Yeah, why do they have to do both tonsils? Is it that COVID could only be hiding on one side of my body? Like, I'm just going to be on his left side. I don't understand. Okay, and also, my God, people jamming cotton buds up your nose that far. It was like, my eyes were watering. And my mum afterwards was like, "You're so brave." I'm 36-year-old mother, 36 years old. But I am a brave boy. Oh, man. Ugh. Hope keywords this stream will be server stability. I haven't had that much problem with server stability, but I know other people have. Especially when the patch just switched over. So on Thursday night, there were lots of server problems. Obviously, they were changing over and everything. I think it's probably settled down somewhat now. I need to do a load more testing. So some people, yes, there's certainly some avoidable known issues, which I talked about in my 3.13 video when it went live. These are some highlighted issues that you may want to avoid. Bed lockouts. Avoid bed lockouts, because that is the most broken thing. You log back in and your character's broken. You've got infinite loading. Obviously lots of people lost a load of equipment and stuff, which isn't too awful because you can just, reason to play. There was a reputation reset, but there wasn't a long-term persistent database reset beyond that. Minion Soldier released a video showing the Mercury Star Runner blows up when you literally walk off the program. I've not had that. I've been able to load the ROC DS into it as well. So weird that the problem. One of the major issues that Star Citizen suffers from is, although it is most of its more aggressive common bugs have been fixed by the time it goes live, there are so many random edge cases that everyone will have this different random bug, yeah, or little bug, or there's just loads of them everywhere. So because it's not polished and refined enough yet, and it's because they keep on adding these major features, and a load of the core of the system's not done, loads of these sort of like legacy things and new things, and all this sort of stuff's going on, means that you have this billion edge cases for loads of different people that are all very rare bugs, but because there's so many rare bugs, that's the way I see it anyway. And Amass thought trading was worth 3 mil. So trading is now viable. So disregarding stability for a second, trading now works. So a lot better. So you should be able to actually do viable trading. Now, when it comes to stability, I need to look at that a lot more, and I need to ask the opinions of some traders, because there's lots of tests. The way I play Star Citizen, typically I avoid bugs, a lot of it quite passively, just because of the way I test and the way I play, because I'm trying to get shots and stuff. Zin's the same. But if you are a cargo hauler, you're probably trying to just focus on that gameplay loop and do it properly. So you won't. So if there's any bugs in that gameplay loop, you'll know about them, especially ones that are unavoidable. Do you see what I mean? So I need to ask someone that's more specifically doing that, or a few people. Remember to unequip all items from body and ship before updating to the newest patch. Indeed. As I made sure I made multiple videos saying that. This patch is weak, like the ROC BS. Oh, I say DS, but it's BS. I do agree that the ROC DS is just lame. I do. It is my one of my least favourite things they've made of all time. And it looks alright, or at least maybe if it's dumb, I like its dumb cuteness. Where the hell is the Hercules? So the Hercules C2 and M2 are going to be part of this 3.13 cycle, along with the Nova tank, ship-to-station docking, and spawn lockers, and in a 3.13.x patch. So within the next couple of months, you'll see that. You're Evocati, but you avoid bugs. So not when I'm doing Evocati testing. Well, I'm a different kind of Evocati tester, I would say as well, because I primarily Evocati test so that I can have an idea of how the patch works for content. That is primarily why I Evocati test. I will participate, I will do the stress tests, I'll do the things that they ask me to, but with that in mind, I'm working out what content I can make and what's going on with the patch, which is, I think, one of the reasons that I was invited to the Evocati, probably. I'm not saying that's the way that Evocati should operate, because you want to make sure that you're getting the testing done as good as you can. I'm saying that in this situation, that's what I have in mind, because otherwise I dedicate my time to just planning content rather than testing anything. Do you see what I mean? Also, people that are in Evocati will realise that it is a chore more than a privilege. Although a chore that some people are quite happy to do. Chris Roberts is peeking over your shoulder. Did you do it on purpose? No. I turned up to the stream one day and he was just there. This is a little floating head. Yeah, so a lot of people should notice better frame rates. Hopefully across the board. Or at least largely. That's partly because they're pushing towards their Gen 12 renderer and load of optimizations and things like that. But they've got CPU cores and CPU threads are being more utilised in this latest build. Both the 600i and the touring version in my ASOP selections, but I never bought it IRL. So it might be a loaner for something. You can go to the loaner matrix on support.robertspaceindustries.com. See that loaner matrix. Any info about wormhole travelling? We know it's coming in, jump points are coming in 4.0. Don't know when 4.0 is coming. Probably the middle of next year-ish, with server meshing and Pyro, and maybe Nix sooner after, Nix system. Probably see more on wormholey stuff at CitizenCon on the 9th of October this year, I would expect. Wormholes, specifically different from potentially jump points, expect to see in the future temporary jump points, or jump points that are not entirely stable or not been fully discovered, which you can use to jump around the same system or to other systems that are not currently mapped on the map, on the star map. And they could be temporary, they could destabilize after a certain amount of time, things like that. Any news on when the Cutlass Blue is going to be ready to buy? I expect to see the Cutlass Blue and Drake ships, especially combat variant ones, on sale during Fleet Week, end of May. In fact, lots of combat ships, most combat ships, and some new ships available in Fleet Week, end of May. Very much looking forward to Fleet Week. There was no wipe this patch for items and ships and stuff and assets. Your reputation would have been wiped though for the new reputation system. And some people obviously lost items and components because bugs, man. Yeah, 30k is the biggest pirate org, indeed. Just cancel it. Cancel your 3080 and get a 3080 Ti. No. So the 3080 I bought it. I've got it at recommended retail price. That it's be madness to cancel it. Even if I get it in 6 months' time, it's still going to be worth a load more when it's in my hands, and I could sell it and buy stuff for giveaways. Or I could also try and get a 3080 Ti. What I would like actually is probably to get me and Sin both a 3080 Ti, because they're 3090 performance. You look great. Are you losing weight? That's a man after my own heart. If I had some sort of VIP thing I could do for you. Yes, I'm on keto, and I have been for the last few weeks, and it works very well for me. I've had a couple of cheat days where I had a bit of barbecue at my mate's house last week, and I had a few beers, a few ciders, relatively dry, low sugar ones, but it still would have broken me out of keto. And I did have an Indian. I did have a curry the other day. With a very minimal amount of rice. Probably within my carb limit of 50 grams, though I am trying to be 20 grams or under of carbs. I've switched over to full cream, or double cream, and sweeteners and stuff instead of sugar, and cut carbs out hugely from my diet. I'm exercising a bit less, just because my room is a tip at the moment. My main room that I use is full of loads of boxes and storage and stuff. I'm trying to set up some other little companies sort of in my spare time, because what I find is that when I'm burnt out with something or need a break, I still need to be fully engaged, and what I actually need is just to do something different. So that can be like I play Conan Exiles, or some form of quite an intense co-op game in my spare time, because I want to be focused on something. But I also sell some stuff on eBay, like models and stuff on eBay. Looking at potentially trading some crypto stuff. So on Tuesday, so Monday, Tuesday, I'll stream on one of those days, probably. Although maybe should push it to Wednesday. I've got to go to the hospital on Tuesday to have a load of tests. Basically, I had problems with my side for about a year now, so my kidneys and my liver and stuff like that, and we think now it's probably just IBS, but they are screening me for bowel cancer and all that sort of jazz. So I'm going there, just having everything totally cleared. That's why I had to have a COVID swab earlier today. Worth buying the Polaris eBay now, or don't buy ships on eBay, okay? If you are going to buy from a grey market, almost certainly I'd go for the Reddit trades, but for Star Citizen trades on Reddit, because they at least have quite established middlemen services and are relatively safe. But I say relatively safe, so at your own risk. CIG cannot support you if you have a problem, because it's grey market, not within their terms of service, and don't buy accounts and things like that, because that's technically black market, and the original owner still owns it. So you should probably see the Polaris on sale at the end of May, I would expect. And on eBay, the prices are going to be super inflated, so I would not buy any Star Citizen related goods beyond merchandise off eBay. Anyone having friend list saying 50 deleting random from the list? Oh, it's probably not fully ported over, or there was a bug with that. I'm sorry, Hextus, that I've not given you time to wake up, sir. Next Generation, thanks for that donation, that super chat. Very much appreciated, sir. I think the only purpose of the ROC DS is to mine deposits that may be located high on walls. So they talked about the ROC DS and basically said, yeah, it's got an articulated, more powerful, a greater range beam. So that second seat, and it's got a better mining laser and suction laser than the normal ROC has, and obviously it can get into higher angles and different angles and stuff. So in the future, it may have a lot more use, but at the moment, the ROC, in my opinion, just beats it. You can operate the mining laser on the normal ROC with just one person in the enclosed cab. And one of the selling points of the ROC DS is like it's got a really secure cab. But not for the second player, it hasn't. Second player's in suffocating. Can you explain a bit more about the CPU GPU changes? So they just generally optimize stuff resource-wise. So you should notice that some of the stuff's been offloaded onto CPU, some of it's been offloaded on GPU that was more sensible, and they're going to be using more CPU threads on your system, as previously were only locked to like 4 or so. So now, if you've got a 16 thread CPU, you'll be using a load more threads, which is great. Great news. Means you shouldn't bottleneck so hard. We played Valheim through for the content that's currently there. Loved Valheim, one of my favourite games. I think it's fantastic. Just about to complete a Conan Exiles playthrough. Then me and Sin will be going back to Journey to a Savage Planet. We're planning to do Eco with Salty Mike. He's got a server and he's doing sort of more of an economic simulator. They want the miner and driver to take shifts. That sort of works. That makes a lot more sense, even. You could actually do that, and that would be sensible. Go back there to replenish your oxygen. I did my PhD in oncology. If you have any questions, appreciate it. I'm super overcautious. I've got quite bad anxiety, but I also relatively good at managing it. So with health stuff, I'm just sort of like, I will make a plan and get it done. And I've got no problems going in for whatever tests they want to give me. They want to put a camera in my bum, they're more than welcome to. Okay, probably won't stream that. Probably. Has Mike found the seaweed harvestable yet? So it's around the coasts of Hurston. I'm not sure if he's found it yet. We'll expect so now in 3.13 live. Do you feel like people who lost weeks of grinding should get Alpha UEC as compensation? Star Citizen is buggy, yo. Hi, Bored. I asked a couple of weeks ago on a live stream, but had to bug out before you answered. What's the tale behind the music that you use on your outro? Why that music? So that music track that I use at the end of the video is called Ordinary People, and it's a Microtech track. And we use it because as a content creator for Star Citizen, we have license within the community content creation, whatever it is, and permission from CIG to use their music, as long as they don't withdraw that. Potsy 666. Thank you very much for the sub. Very much appreciated. Hey, Star. Thanks for the subs. Thanks for the monies. Ordinary People, Star Citizen. Let me put this on for you. So I really like it. And Zin chose it. Because she is much more arty and edity than I am. I'm just sort of like, look, I can read information and I can discern what's important from it, and I can crunch it down into something that's somewhat usable. You're good. Prevention's the better cure. Yeah, I know. I'm never embarrassed about anything medical or mental health wise, to be honest. I mean, any sense of the word. Like, if you've got a problem with your body, go to your doctor, talk about it. If you've got a terrible doctor that does not listen to you, do two things. Try and communicate in a different way with them. Try and be concise and accurate. Write down your worries, and then try and work out a way of explaining it to them. If they are bad and do not treat you right, talk to a different doctor. Do you. I mean, I know in some countries you've got to pay for your medical stuff. Obviously in the UK we've got NHS, and I really like the fact that I don't have to pay huge amounts for doctors. However, I am getting private medical soon. I've realised that that's probably a good bet for peace of mind. I'll probably have like a full set of screening tests I'll pay for every couple of years. just because that alleviates my anxieties hugely. What mechanic or feature are you most looking forward to over the next year? Woo! Salvage, if it's done right. Salvage, if it's done right. But there's a huge amount of mission-based stuff that Hello, botted. Board. She meant T rather than the R. Have a look at crypto soon. Okay? Seen a significant dip in the market. No, it's recovered. It would have recovered or mostly recovered by now. Crypto's erratic, okay? But it's mostly growing still. So you will have noticed that over the last couple of months, it's skyrocketed massively, like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of percent for loads of different cryptocurrencies. Yeah? And there will occasionally be price adjustments where it will drop like 10, 15% over a couple of days. And people are like, oh, the market's crashing. I mean, typically it's not. It might be. I'm not giving you medical advice or financial advice. And so do your own research. Do you again. I tell you from my experience what I think, what I reckon. It would have mostly recovered by now, or at least largely, and it will boom again over the next couple of weeks. Some cryptos are incredibly erratic. Some are going to be worthless. Will they move over to Ethereum 2.0 cause lots of problems? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. What else has he got? This is mostly driven by huge amounts of retail investors coming into the market and weak hands in the market. Experts predict a recovery. We have seen some positive candles into top 10 altcoins as well. It's quite volatile at the moment. You could theoretically go either way. Yeah, as could lots of investments. If you have money to burn, then sometimes I think crypto is a good idea for an investment. Literally money that you don't mind losing and you're looking for a return. But you need to understand the particular crypto you're investing in. Yeah? Don't just randomly invest. Don't get on crypto because other people have told you it's a good idea or you've seen adverts. Because it's not a good idea. Well, it's as good as invest in what you know. Okay? That's what I'm saying. And some cryptocurrencies are scams, pretty much. Or worthless, or will be worthless. And no one knows how the market's going to go. And anyone that tells you that it does, well, why aren't they a billionaire? Yeah? Because they don't. Yeah, so when I go to the hospital on Tuesday, I've got a load of super high grade, whatever it's called, make you go poo poo. I've got a load of that, and apparently that's quite bad when you take it. Like you can't stop going for hours. Man, you should write a book about patient-doctor relationship. I'm relatively good at communicating to people on one-on-one. And I've had fantastic experiences with doctors. So when I was 2 or 3 years ago, I was... I've been like... 5 years ago. 5, 6 years ago now, probably. Oh, God. Well, I've wasted my life covering Star Citizen. No, let me... That's Darren Lambourne Microtech one, isn't it? Bear with me 1 second. Oh, someone's given me 1 billion subs. Splinter Pro, thank you so much for all the subs. Loads of people have been forcibly subscribed to my channel. But Artemis Explorer is back on. Thank you so much. Oh, that's really, really appreciated. Zin! Zin, you've been subbed to my channel! Get wrecked, Zin! Haha! Thanks, Splinter Pro, for subscribing my editor to my channel, who has... You got Twitch Prime! Why aren't you subbed to me anyway, Zin? What is this? That's going to be in your contract soon. Got to be subbed to me. How dare you? No, I never understand why people donate or give vast amounts of donations, or well, that's the same thing, just said in a slightly different way. Or subscribe or anything like that. It's genuinely super appreciated though. Like it really helps the channel out, helps me out, makes me just feel, you know, like I've got more money. Like even if crypto crashes, doesn't matter. Got all that YouTube money, yo. Thank you so much. That's very much appreciated. So yeah, I've always had great experiences with doctors. When I was at my lowest with pretty bad depression and terrible, crippling anxiety about 5, 6 years ago, The doctor there, he was fantastic. He was absolutely fantastic. He was like, look, we're going to get you the right antidepressants. We're going to get you the right help that you need. It might take a little bit of time, but we're here to sort of help you. I was crying in the surgery. I was crying all the time. Oh man, it was awful.
Tricksy little hobbitses.
And the two people that helped me out so much, were Twerk, now known as Salty Mike, and Noobafire. Man, they were, and Noobafire's wife as well. They were legendary, like genuinely legendary. It's still going because you donated so many subs, you monster. Userox, Rickbon, the best user, Harry Taint, what a Galtorky, Kevi, Panther, Sinia, a Wet Vertical, ooh, and you've been that welcome forcibly to the channel. You love it. Yeah, I've always had great experience with the doctors, and yeah, and I've always had a pretty supportive community from most of the people that watch, and people that aren't supportive or are, you know, more actively critics for the sake of being critics. I still appreciate you. You can have your own opinions. I'm glad that I don't have a supreme echo chamber. It's appreciated. Have other players suffering not being able to join up with others due to the limit of 30 players? That's... Oh, in your friends list. So yeah, some people were talking about that earlier. I have multiple accounts, and the accounts I used to record typically will just have Zin and a couple of other people on them, so I don't have that problem. COVID swabs suck. Yeah, they're needed though, yeah. Is there any reason why the PTU is still available? I didn't notice that, actually. Sometimes they run another mini patch on the PTU for bug fixes. So me losing all of my ships and me losing all of my ships I used FESC on as a bug as well. Yes, it's where it's not copying across the persistent database properly. They may turn up in the next week. They may turn up in the next patch. But they might be lost. They might just be lost.
Oh, beautiful.
Thank you very much, Splinter Pro, for the bits. Do you think Star Citizen is going to be the game to play? Going to be the game to play in a matter of 4 or 5 years? I think Star Citizen will be mainstream, have mainstream popularity, and be into its stride and very playable in 4 or 5 years. I think within 5 years it will be either in beta or close to live. Nose is the first. Thank you very much. Thanks for the sub, you star. Thanks for the bits. Thanks for the subs. What else have we got here? I think I missed the info for it, but is the bartender mission giver still coming? Eddie Parr, the bartender and mission set for him is coming. It got delayed loads for some reason. Not entirely sure why. I think it's because the full set of mocap and AI stuff for him is not finished. I actually suspect that some of that is because of COVID, because they wanted to have the actor recording voice lines and mocap, but they've been unable to get him. But expect to see him at some point properly in game, and a set of missions that are more Eddie Parr specific. Beyond just mentions of him and sort of like generic stuff. So, you should use Streamlabs so we can send you tips. I do. There's the donate thing under my channel, Streamlabs. Donate to BoredGamer and Streamlabs. Server meshing 5 years. So you'll see, almost certainly, tier 1 static server meshing within the next year. Yeah? Full, completed, dynamic server meshing could be quite a few years. It could be like 3 to 4 years or we get full dynamic server meshing, which is a different thing entirely. Well, not entirely, but a magnitude greater. Hand on heart, do you think, even after server meshing has been added, that we will have these desync issues? I think that Star Citizen, once it is more polished and refined, will not have desync issues. Or at least not desync issues in the same way at all. There'll still be people annoyed about things like in Apex that you get, which is more sort of hit reg and prediction. Friends list only show 50 friends currently. That is an issue that I did not notice originally, because obviously in my account that I use for record and Sin's account as well, we have under 50 friends. My 5950X thanks to Pres optimizations. So I upgraded my 5900X to a 5950X because I got it sooner. They basically went, you can have your CPU sooner if you upgrade. And I was like, okay, that's probably worth it.
Thank you, my friend, for everything you do.
It seems to be amazing for content creation. That 5950X is pretty much high-end content creation, and 5900, just the 5900 would have been enough for content creation and gaming. But the extra thread, it's great. I need to find other reasons to use it. Stormfire, thank you so much. The sub, 37 months of being sub to me. I'm so sorry. Thank you, my friend, for everything you do. Very much appreciated. And we do need to have a chat at some point, Stormfire, just because obviously you've spotted the channel for ages, and it'd be nice to be in contact with you before I meet you at a Citizen Con in the future. Get you involved in some stuff. Very much appreciated, mate. You're a star. Grace3 Pasty or Pastry. Grace3 Pastry. Thank you very much for the sub as well. Very much appreciated. You've got weird names, but obviously everyone's name's got a story. Maybe they haven't. Maybe they just went. That's still a story, right? Not sure what that was. Me typing. I hope you're well. Yes, I'm pretty well, Storm. I am going to the hospital for a full set of tests and scans and things on Tuesday, just because I had a pain in my side, which is actually mostly gone now. Probably just IBS, but they want to screen me for like all forms of pancreatic and bowel cancers and all this sort of stuff. Now I'm a pastry chef, nothing crazy. Congratulations on having the skill to be a pastry chef. I used to be a head chef. Puddings and pastries, though, require skill that I do not have. What are you most looking forward to in 3.14? So 3.14 generally has quite a lot of tangible content compared to 3.13. So there's a good amount in there. I think probably it's Horizon and Crusader updates and all the associated missions. I'm going to be running around looking at that stuff. But, I mean, some of the big ticket items are updates to the inventory system, I think, giving us local inventories, a load of scanning and radar updates. Got a load of medical gameplay in there. It'll be interesting to see what hacking does as well. So, and to what extent are we going to have modularity for the Retaliator and potentially other ships at the same time, but for the Retaliator for sure. That's sort of all quite exciting, interesting stuff that's happening. 3.14 and potentially more stuff. What are there going to be some major events for 3.14? We know that Cloud Imperium had 8 to 10 events planned after Xeno Threat, so we'll have to wait and see. The more time passes, the further away server meshing looks. So, that's sort of partly true in the fact that CIG have been so terrible and miscommunicative with deadlines previously, when they sort of like wanted Star Citizen out many moons ago and Squadron 42 out many moons ago, and obviously it's many years later now. They've been sort of misrepresented, I'd say, the time it would take for us to get a lot of this stuff. It does take time. It is important. They reprioritize stuff all the time. I'm expecting server meshing within the year. Static stage 1. Oh dear, and I hope the tests come back healthy. Me too. I suspect I am fine. And if not, then I've caught everything particularly early, which is good as well. And then there's treatment and stuff that can be had. That's the way I see it. It's important to have tests. There's no magical thinking there. There's no, well, if I hadn't had the test in the first place, nothing would be wrong with me. That's madness. How do you use bombs getting to the server? Delete your shaders folder in your user folder, the new user folder, and try again. Oh, there's still 30Ks in 3.13. There will always be 30Ks in Star Citizen. They are just a term for disconnections from the server. So the server can crash, or the client can get disconnected. If you pulled out your network cable while playing Star Citizen, you get a 30K. That's what I'm saying. So that'll happen in the future as well. They should diminish with each major patch, or at least the minor patches that come out with them, sort of optimizing that further. Lots of people are saying that it was particularly unstable at launch. I think it's probably a bit better now. Is performance for you all in 3.13? Yeah, pretty good. What else have we got? I've got a sore throat now that they swabbed my throat. I've got a sore throat now. How dare they? How dare they swab me? Alright, what else have we got? Wow, you look exactly how I imagined. So I know that is the... I know that's an insult. Oh, shit. Oh, you must love dubstep. Thanks. Oh. I'm extremely green to this game. So is some people that have been playing it for years, mate. Don't worry about it. It doesn't hold your hand. You have to watch YouTube videos or get friends to show you how to play it, basically, is what I would say. In the future, I hope that each set of gameplay and each set of missions has its own tutorial missions and sort of intro missions, which are exciting and fun to learn how to do them, and that will hold your hands so that you understand how to do those gameplay loops and how they affect other people's gameplay. Some of the trading issues carry over to 3.13. 30Ks still happen, but trading is largely fixed in 3.13. Yes, so CPUs seem to have largely not be totally devastatingly out of stock anymore, which is good. GPUs, though, there are going to be problems with GPUs for the next year or so. What happened to the Cliff Richard photo I had in the background? Interesting story about that. It's somewhere in a drawer. It's Cameron. It's Cameron from CIG sending me random pictures. That was Cliff Richard picture. In the UK, a nickname for Richard is Dick. So he sent me dick pics, is what he saw as a joke. He sent me loads of random shit. He sent me 2 tea strainers. Okay, when I was playing Fallout 76, this was, because I was complaining that I needed glue and adhesive. And another name for a tea strainer, yeah, is a tea sieve and adhesive. Do you see? You see, it sounds a bit the same. So I have to live with the constant fear that a random present's going to arrive. He sent me a didgeridoo. I think it's because I made a didgeridoo joke once. There's a load of random shit in my room from Cameron. He's a monster. I'm selling my cat. Number 1, don't sell your cat. Look after your cat better. Number 2, don't sell your cat on my channel. Oh, he means caterpillar. That makes more sense. No! I'm selling your stuff on my channel. Get out. Get out of here, you monster. With your scams. And if you do want to sell ships for any reason, then you can go on the Reddit Star Citizen Trades. Is a somewhere that I can recommend for understanding how to sell your stuff. They are not going to actively promote Star Citizen Trades because it is grey market. No, I didn't call Sir Cliff Richard random shit. I called him the personalised photo I have of him and a set of photos at random shit, which it is. Paul clicked right through me, knew I was selling my real cat. I need help getting the best computer for Star Citizen. You don't need anything too strenuous CPU-wise. I would recommend 16 to 32 gigs of RAM though, and a strong 20 or 30 series GeForce GPU. But now is a bad time to buy a 30 series card or any GPUs. $400 is like pocket change, but it's not to some people. Some people that's money they'd save up over multiple months if they're lucky. And people live paycheck to paycheck. Doesn't really matter how much you earn either. It's about your a lot of the time it's about your disposable income, and that's going to be based on where you live in the world and all that sort of stuff. So money has different value to different people, very much so. And that's why some people don't understand how people can spend thousands of dollars on ships, and some people can not afford to have leisure activities by buying even a game package. So it's totally different for different people, and that's fair enough. I hope everyone has the joy of financial freedom in the future and is able to buy what they want. I think even when you have a reasonable amount of money, you still, for the most part, don't want to just, plunge it around everywhere. You still have to make concessions with what you are able to buy and not buy. Otherwise, you wouldn't have money at all anyway. I know there are some super rich people, but I'm fine working for the rest of my life. Quite happy to do that. And being reasonably well off. Yeah, so people that are looking for hardware, I recommend looking at pre-made gaming laptops or gaming PCs. At the moment, if you're trying to get the sort of high-end GPUs, that is one of the cheapest ways of getting them. Maybe I'm not sure if you've noticed this, but if you watch the April 1st video, at the very end, you can see the silhouette of the 400. Well, that was the Origin 404, was shown off on April 1st. It was an invisible ship. However, it did have a shadow, and we think that, spoilers, probably is the 400i. Yeah, see, even with an RX 580, you can still get reasonable performance in Star Citizen. However, you will notice when you update your PC in the future that it will be, you're like, oh my god, it looks so good. It's a shame that Shadow's a bit uncertain at the moment, so that's the streaming service they used to promote, and I will promote again in the future once I know that it's stable. Otherwise, I will find another company that does something similar and make sure I'm happy with them and then recommend them. Are the servers stable in 3.13 mostly? They were not stable when the patch went live. I think they are mostly stable again now. I have not had a server crash. If you're forced to find, but a laptop will always be worse than money. Mostly worse than money, but yeah. But mostly price to performance ratio. However, we live in very odd times where the cost of GPUs is so high that buying a laptop, a new laptop at RRP, can sometimes actually be a more efficient way. We could see that ship I mentioned a minute ago, the one that appears to be the Origin 404, but not the 404. In the 3.13 cycle, that's quite possible, or 3.14. Will you ever grow a ponytail again? I've never had a ponytail, Jag. I have had a mohawk, though. And I don't think I've got the hair constitution, because I'm like a monk. I sort of go, no, not much hair here, but loads of hair here, and on my back and my arse. When is Invictus Week? End of May, Invictus Fleet Week. Is the physics bug still there? Which one? So, vehicles can be stored in ships properly now. You can have them, you can drive them out and drive them in, and they don't jank around on elevators, they don't jank around on ramps. Hey, Board, what's your favourite part of 3.13? Would you recommend a try for a Veteran Star Citizen packet? Yeah, Ray Fighter. I mean, I think every major patch, even if you're waiting for the game to be more of a actual, not alpha game, more of an actual game, something more tangible, yeah, I think that it's worth trying as a tourist for a few hours every major patch. Certainly worth having a look. The moons loads of the moons and sort of like visuals have been updated, planets and stuff. You go, ooh, very pretty. It's more obvious on the moons. There's a load of new content with like caves and some of the new missions and stuff there. It's worth jumping in, checking out what's new, for sure. Is it worth you sitting down and playing it for hundreds of hours? Probably not, as you've got an org to play with. So one of the things, let's bring this up on screen. We got 3.13 named Underground Infamy, so nothing about Ninetales Lockdown here. So maybe Ninetales Lockdown won't be part of the 3.13 branch. We've got Fleet Week, maybe we'll have something else. Not a huge amount of content in it, it is light on content. You've got ship-to-ship docking with the P-52 and the Connie, or P-72. You've got the new sign distance field shield stuff, although more of that's coming next patch as well. Very pretty. Shield holes are fixed. And lots of stuff got fixed in the PTU with it not working. ROC DS, a pretty pointless vehicle in my opinion. Kind of looks cool, but it's dumb. So it's dual seat ROC that one person drives, one person uses the laser. If we had loads of like mining things that were on the ceiling that you couldn't reach in caves, which we might in the future, maybe this would have a bit more function. Got a load more cargo space than the normal ROC, and it's sort of more rover sized, so it'll fit on anything that can take a rover. You've got the Cyclone MT, got missiles and a cannon turret. Wheel Cyclone. A reputation system sort of updates you on the rep with the missions and factions in game. Gives you rewards and stuff for hitting certain levels as well. You've got some ships can be named. Ships have serial numbers as well. You'll be able to customize that on all ships in the future. There's new cave missions and delivery missions. Cool new FPS type stuff. The cave missions are sort of basically underground facility missions. Go around, kill a load of people for a particular target. New cave entrances for ships to fly in or vehicles to drive in. Load of visual updates for the game, including asteroid updates. It's not all the asteroids in the game yet, or anything like that. The ones in the Iron Halo and around Yellow have not been updated, but ones around like Lagrange points and gas clouds have. With visual updates to the moons. Some new harvestables around the coastlines of Hurston. Got staggers added to the feedback system. mining components, which don't have a huge amount of use in my opinion. Added to the lasers for the ROC and Prospector. And you've got wear and tear, which is actually pretty cool. It's just aesthetic at the moment, but it is like dust and scratches and dirt based on the atmosphere you're in. Don't think I've ever seen that harvestable in Star Citizen yet. It's just by the coast, by the water in Heston. Have a look at some of these little videos. So put on what is Star Citizen for you. Wait 1 second. Boop. I'll go to the PP quick. So that's what is Star Citizen video is cut from so many clips and trailers for Star Citizen content throughout the years, which is interesting. It's pretty good looking video. Underground Infamy, so this is the trailer for the latest patch. Frame rates never before seen in Star Citizen. Very good shots.
Let's hope your execution matches your enthusiasm.
Twitch Pacheco. Got a little trailer there, and we've got the ROC DS as well. No one looks that happy playing Star Citizen, I'll tell you that. Everyone's just waiting for a crash or a bug or something janky to happen. Oh, is that supposed to be the same place that they had the ROC advert? 1 second. ROC. Trailer. Wait, let's have a look, see if that's the same cabin. This is the original ROC trailer.
After eating the bear's breakfast, Goldilocks exploded.
I think that might be the same one, that might be the curtains.
She saw 3 chairs and wanted badly to rest her feet. But the first chair she tried was much too small. So she tried the second chair, and it was much too big. But when she tried the third chair, she found that it was just right.
I think that could be the same. Yeah, it's the same. It's the same building. It's supposed to link up. Saying, "Hi, look, the man and the woman and the wife, the couple have the child in the curtains. Yeah, yeah, yeah." Don't know why that was so important to me, but it was. Is there any other? Will it ever be finished? Was that not the point? It will be. We'll go to a actual, tangible, live, on the shelf released game, and then, like World of Warcraft, they'll continue to develop it and add content. I've not done much mining in 3.13, especially the live build. I know mining works. I'm not sure if it's viable to do financially, if you see what I mean. Same woman happy. Yeah, cool. Do the skins released for the ROC fit both variants? I don't think so. I don't believe that they are a different vehicle / ship. The worlds are so big they could literally spend years filling them. Well, they've got procedural tools to fill a load of them and to generate missions and stuff for them. Obviously, some of it is hand crafted, so procedurally assisted is the idea. They expect us to buy a $13 skin for $70 garbage. I agree. I genuinely agree with you. The skins are really, really expensive, and the ROC, $70 for the ROC DS is ridiculous. Get it in game. Get all the ground vehicles in game. I mean, all you need is a game package anyway. You get everything in game, so. When do you think the merchantman will be flyable? End of next year at the earliest. So CIG have, I think, probably over 700 people working for them now. And there's lots of studios. There's the CIG studios in 2 in the UK. Manchester, Winslow, and Derby. Got one in Frankfurt, which is about to move to the 1 building in 2022 in Frankfurt. They're getting a bigger office there. You'll probably see CIG Winslow in Manchester potentially move to another area, or a bigger office is what I'm trying to say, because that makes sense. We'll have to wait and see if that's actually... Well, they will at some point, almost certainly. We had rumours of that. They wanted to do that start of last year, I think, but obviously COVID. Got a couple in America. Got the Los Angeles one, studio, the sort of main headquarters for Star Citizen. And then you've got Texas, with sort of like the centre of ops and lots of QA. And you also have Montreal now with Turbulent, although not a owned CIG studio. CIG do own 25% of them, and Turbulent have a Star Citizen focused studio, which they are building at the moment, for gameplay area and star systems. Well, they need at least 5 years more development, so they will sell it. They will sell anything they can as part of their monetization model that seems sensible to sell. Obviously, there's some stuff that is so like, come on, don't fucking sell that. I do not mind them selling skins, even if they're exorbitant prices, because some people want them and will buy them. If you want to sell stuff that I don't need for aesthetic reasons, go ahead. Please, everyone, if you are installing Star Citizen, make sure it's on a fast SSD. Starting a petition to get Clive Dunn brought back to life as a Star Citizen hero mission giver. Invictus Week is at the end of May. Star Citizen is making ridiculous bank each month, and Fleet Week at the end of May, and the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo at the end of November, and CitizenCon mid-October. They are all going to be huge money earners for them. There is something I think that Star Citizen can do to make more money without pissing people off. Accept cryptocurrency. Accept crypto and immediately cash it out. You have slight sort of percentage fees for it. They accept crypto for their pledges. I think they'll make a ton more money. Bored, what do you think about high-speed, low-flying and Star Citizen? Personally interested? I mean, I'm going to be bad at it. It looks cool. I've seen Dark Claw win some impressive fights against stream snipers, which he has just been... Hey, Bored. This is why I watch you. You're a sensible man. I disagree, but thanks, appreciate it. And it's good to know you're not a full shill. Look, there's no problem being a shill as long as you weigh... As long as you weigh yourself daily. No, as long as you wear your bias on your arm. Like, everyone is biased on everything. People that say they're not, they're at the very least confused. And some people just misrepresenting. Like, everyone's biased. Wear your bias on your sleeve. Talk about it. Identify it. And then talk about what you like, what you know, and what you think. And that's fine. People can have different opinions to you. That's cool. They have a different point of view. They will because they're not you. That's how I live my life in general with all forms of conversation. Okay to be wrong. Even on the internet. Do you think they will increase the Nova tank on release? Make it bigger? Not from what we've seen. As in, they won't change it from the models that they've shown recently. Well, not much, anyway. Tweaks, but it shouldn't go in its size. I suppose they haven't confirmed its current size, have they now? Who gives lawful missions? I don't think the bounty hunters guilds give lawful missions. There is no true lawful mission giver. There's neutral ones and there's unlawful ones. The first true lawful mission givers, I think, will be Batista and Gibbs on Horizon. Obviously, the Xenothreat Agent Dooley missions, they were lawful. And there's lots of neutral ones, like Rocco Battaglia. Neutral. New! Thank you very much for becoming a BoredGamer Citizen member with the join button. The join button under my videos. You can do that to help support the channel even further. Get some exclusive content, which me and Sin need to produce next week, or at least put out the stuff we've already got next week. I'm trying to get video out every week. That is ridiculously hard to do when it comes to exclusive content. So every 2 is the plan. Well, actually, it's every week still, but. Oh, got a cough. That means I'm dead. Yeah, I love the look of low flying. People would low fly and do it at high speed. It looks great. When will 3.13.x be live? So there's going to be a potentially 3.13.x can refer to a series of patches. 3.13.1 being the first one. We don't know if that's going to be having all of the content that 3.13 is missing in it, or whatever yet. We just don't know. Expect a 3.13 mini patch with Fleet Week at the end of May, and that's where I'd expect to see that a lot of the missing content. News on the Gen 12 renderer. We know they're working on that. We know they've put a load of optimizations towards Gen 12 renderer and Vulkan in 3.13 and probably 3.14 as well, and we'll should see that later this year. On which planet would you build your outpost? At the moment, Daymar. I like Daymar. Speaking of crypto, I invested $5 grand in Dogecoin last year. I hope you were sold out when it was at 40 cents then. And I don't know how much Dogecoin is at the moment, but I'd probably consider selling again even now if you haven't, in my opinion. That said, I'm not a financial advisor. Do not take financial advice from me. About 20 cents at the moment, Dogecoin. 26 cents, okay. It's higher than I thought. I don't think it will get beyond 30 cents again this boom cycle. And obviously they're trying to boom it up to, you know, ridiculous prices. Oh, new. Oh, that's a huge amount of money to donate. Thank you so much, sir. Subscribes and then drops me a load of money. You put in a lot of effort for everyone. I haven't been really in Star Citizen in a few years, but always check up on what's new thanks to you. Here you go. Thank you so much. Oh, you star. Legend. I appreciate it. I appreciate the love. I know. So basically, I love doing Star Citizen content. Because specifically, I do low-hanging fruit content that requires a moderate amount of research and constant attention. So sort of daily Star Citizen videos, covering the news, talking about it, doing some live streams, just chatting more about what I think of what's going on, and getting a bit more in touch with the community. So Star Citizen community, Star Citizen news, Star Citizen sort of compression of bite-sized content and stuff like that. Yeah, I love it. And I think I was the first person to do that truly consistently and persistently, which is why I've probably got one of the larger followings for Star Citizen. I certainly don't think I'm the best. I know a lot of people like me because they've now grown up with me in the Star Citizen community. I suspect some people dislike me for exactly the same reason. But it's all good. Thank you for the love, and I appreciate it. Like, thank you. Will there be orbital mechanics in the future? So, planets are going to orbit stars, and moons are going to orbit planets. So yes, to that extent. Will we be able to orbit in our ships? I don't think so. I think that once you're in within a physics grid of a planet, you're sort of just moving with it, rather than orbiting. Did they fix the Connie lift? I believe so, and vehicles are largely fixed. I don't think it loses... I don't think you get pinged out of a Connie so readily now. Are we going to continue with the free ship if you recruit someone every month? So, the free Aurora ES is if you recruit someone by the 10th of May. There will be future promotions for that though, but we don't know when. The Star Citizen have a proper economy. It has a very static economy, not a dynamic one currently. So sort of we can buy and sell, you can do some trading and stuff. In the future, you will have a proper dynamic economy. They are working towards that. You should see some updates on the dynamic universe simulation, which includes a lot of the driving forces for that. In the next few months, Tony Zarek should be doing stuff on that, and you'll probably see it again at CitizenCon on the 9th of October. So after Star Citizen releases, how do you think CIG will monetize the game? They'll sell in-game currency, they'll sell ship packages, they'll have voluntary subscribers, they'll sell merch, they'll sell ship skins, and I would expect them to still sell concept ships at the earliest possible stage. That would be my expectation. Are you excited for the C2? Yeah, I think it's going to be cool. I'm excited with that combined with the Nova tank. Because although I don't think ground vehicles have a huge amount of use at the moment, the tank is just a tank. Right? Cool. What do you think about the server meshing delay? Will it really improve game performance? Yes. It's not just that, though. It's essential and core to the game for it to be an MMO. You need server meshing so that you can have a lot of people on the servers and all the servers to coexist and have a ship as its own server and be able to seamlessly share data with another server. So Hercules C2 is going to be great for cargo transport. It's going to be great for transporting the blister and well, at the very least the tonk. I think it can carry a blister as well, right? Probably. It can't carry a blister. What can? Can't build outposts instant and everything's owned by corporations. You might be able to buy land claims from them, but you have to buy the land. When do you think Theatre will be ready for beta testing? I would expect to see wider testing in the 3.14 branch, so between June and September. So it might only be like a weekend or two, but that's what I'm expecting. Went into Merlin within my Connie yesterday and instantly exploded. Not ideal, admittedly. What are the new harvestables for? You're going to be able to sell them. Actually, I haven't tried to sell them yet. You can eat them. CIG will accept crypto payments eventually. I hope so. It's just sensible, right? I should probably put my an Ethereum and Bitcoin wallet in my donations as well. Yeah, nice cloaking tech. I know, right? So that was the 404 Origin 404 April Fools. However, spoilers. We think that's probably the 400i, which we'll see in the future, just made invisible. When do X patches normally come out? Days, weeks, or months after the live release. It depends, and you could have multiple ones. So you typically get a point patch when they're just about to do a major event as well. So just before the end of May or around when Fleet Week goes live, you'll probably see a 3.13.x patch as well. Bored, what survival mechanics were just introduced? When survival mechanics were introduced, people had mixed feelings about how deep they want the system to be. So now that we've had it for a while, what's your take on the future of survival? As long as it's not too prohibitive, it's going to be fine. The problem is we don't know yet, and we need to have medical gameplay and a ton of other gameplay, and then be able to play for huge periods of time, and that sort of be progressive and persistent, that play time. So that's important. When I'm logged out, do I need to eat? These are the questions as well. I log out in my ship for a week. I come back. Have I been eating food? Did I need to eat food? Can I just Can everyone in the ship just log off, or one person drives it, so that they don't have to eat if everyone's low on food? Like, there's a load of questions there. I think that light survival mechanics are okay and would work fine in Star Citizen like they are now. As we have to see how that balances out though. Obviously, they're adding more medical gameplay and a deeper player status system with the use of washing and showering and the poo pee pee. When do you think the map and Quantum Nav will get overhauled? They're working on it now. I expect to see some of this this year. You can see it on the progress tracker at the moment, some of it. Yeah, I mean, I'd love to be good at low flying, fast flying, but I'm bad at games. I actually think it's better, easier to do on HOTAS, and I use mouse and keyboard as well. I think so, anyway. Any idea how land claims will work? Yeah, so you go to the land claim office in the area to get like a little beacon tool, and you'll go to the piece of land you want, and you'll place the beacon down. It will check to make sure that land claim is okay in the area that you've placed it. We'll work out the cost and fees for that, give you a provisional claim. You go back to the claim office, pay for it. That land's now yours and protected by the security and law in the area. Don't know how much you're going to have to pay. Probably won't be a huge amount, but it'll be some. In areas where there are no sort of laws or there's no security, it will be Wild West. You don't have to place a land claim, but it's basically gives you the protection of the law, and it says someone's on your land prospecting your stuff. Well, they get a warning, and then they might get a criminal rating, stuff like that. Can servers handle more players yet? Doesn't look like it. Can't wait for the goodies in Fleet Week. You're going to have to. I'm looking forward to the new stuff they sell there, and it could be a genuinely good event as well. So last year's Fleet Week was super great. Super exciting with the UE fleet flying around. We were able to steal the capital ships. We were able to steal the combat ships. You weren't supposed to be able to, but just things like that slip through. It's great. They wanted to have flybys, planet side, and things like that. There's loads of stuff they didn't get in time. So obviously Star Citizen's a bit more developed now. It's a lot prettier. There's the dynamic mission systems and sort of dynamic event systems now. So there's a lot more they can do. I'm looking forward to Fleet Week a load. Typically they have a free fly, load of sales going on, loads of free ships to rent, load of like new ships to that are either straight to flyable or concept. It's one of the reasons we may not have seen much in the way of new stuff in 3.13's initial releases, because they're holding a ship or two back for Fleet Week. Are you excited for the Diablo 2 remaster? Potentially, yes. I love Diablo 3, I love Diablo 2. Have you ever thought about working for CIG Community Engagement? They probably wouldn't be able to pay me enough. To be honest, I like the freedom that sort of I have from doing what I do. I like being able to work directly related to much as I want in a day, and I'm severe. Like I get severely depressed, but I'm bipolar or anxious. I just sometimes I just don't want to do a day's work, so I'll have a bit of a lay down. Do you think Star Citizen will benefit from Elite Dangerous Odyssey? Yes. So it does multiple things. It keeps the genre alive for space sim games. It teaches valuable lessons: what works, what doesn't work, how releases, how you should do stuff for marketing. Yeah. Star Citizen's going to be several years before it's done yet, so lots of other games are going to come and go. When do we think we'll see the Secret Origin ship? Potentially at Fleet Week. I think more likely 3.14's patch cycle now. We have ships for CCU. When would it be wise to use your CCUs? You will get a warning before they move over to beta sort of thing. So, I don't know, whenever you want to use them, please. Is server meshing still planned for 2021? So load of optimizations towards server meshing, certainly for 2021. Much more likely to see static server meshing by the sort of middle of next year. Right now, the planets in Star Citizen are 1/6 of the size of real ones. Does CIG plan on making them real sized or a bit larger? No, they're going to be scaled. So the sort of astral star systems are 1 to 10 size, and then planets are 1/5 to 1/6. Scale's fine. Servers are about to explode with the size of assets already. And server meshing should solve a huge amount of that. And just better optimized iCache and object container streaming. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the star map being overhauled. And all of that stuff for exploration, finding points of interest, scanning down stuff, sharing locational data, saving locational data, and being able to quantum travel a bit more freely. That really looking forward to that. So important. And it's exploration, and they are working on that this year. Don't know if it's coming out this year though. There's certainly updates to scanning and radar and some of that this year. Some of that in the next patch. Everyone's custom 300 series showing up as stock or just mine? I don't know. Question: lots of people having lots of odd issues with particular ships. So, question: why is this game not ready? I bought it 5 years ago. It's going to be quite a bit longer before it's ready. Many years longer. It's played by Alpha at the moment though. You can go and play it. Much more as like a tourist. The scale of the game has greatly expanded since you probably backed it 5 years ago. But there's genuine progression being made. Did you back Squadron or Citizen Universe? Star Citizen? God, I'm looking forward to the Star Map rework. I know, right? When will Squadron 42 likely release? Not before 2022. Probably by the end of 2022. Don't know for sure though. Expect to see a traditional media campaign probably start around 1 year to 6 months before. I'm genuinely expecting that this year's CitizenCon there will be some big Squadron 42 starts of like a marketing campaign. But I was expecting that in 2019, so what do I know? Prediction on when it will be done. What Squadron or Star Citizen Universe? I think we'll see mainstream beta / push to live 4 or 5 years. It's going to be a while. Do you think anything such as the Yeti from the game should be added as a surprise? Well, maybe, but I mean, it's called the Boreal Stalker, and we know they're working on it for Microtech at the moment. Sorry, Bod. So, what do you really think about the Redeemer rework so far? Okay. I like the look of it. I'm excited for it, but I need to see it in my hands. It might be trash. It might have no purpose. It might be like, I preferred the original. But I don't know yet. Looks cool to me. But obviously it hasn't got all the detail and final passes yet. A true gunship. Medium, sort of small, medium gunship. Cool. 5 years ago, I had $1,000 and I chose Star Citizen over Bitcoin. You fool! Like how the first creature they're probably hiding is a Bigfoot, I know, right? You October 2012 people think you're so great because you have cool things I'm super jealous about. Like a
towel. Yeti Bigfoot, same thing. Why not? One's just one that lives further up in the mountains, right? They eat human flesh. Are they Wendigos? Who knows? So the new rendering will have side effects of new, better performance, to mean higher FPS, faster computers. What it mean laptops could also achieve. So it should be more scalable. So you should have across the board better performance. Is the idea, especially with the Gen 12 renderer stuff. But faster computers both to run better as intended and actually have more going on. Reference, I get 6 to 13 frames in new average. There's a few things you can actually do to try and get better frame rate, including limiting your frames and turning off some NVIDIA settings. I've got a video on it and a couple of guides on my website as well, BoredGamer.co.uk. Do you need to update them a bit better? Do you think the freelancer will ever get VTOL like in the commercial? I hope they have the engines turnable in the future. Look at Bitcoin now dropping like mad. So the weird thing is that when Bitcoin drops like by 5% or like $10,000, which is like what, 5 to 8% or whatever, after booming by hundreds and hundreds of percent, like the market's collapsing. I mean, it's not. But there are going to be price corrections after that sort of boom cycle. Bull and bear markets and all that sort of jazz. I do like the fact that Ethereum has sort of broken free largely from the chains of Bitcoin. Partially. Are you going to do a video, should you buy the ROC DS? No. Me and Zin will do that. We'll have a look at the Cyclone MT and the ROC DS, should you buy video sort of thing, or ship buyer's guide, or vehicle buyer's guide, and we'll say, probably, we'll say, yeah, I think it's probably pretty trash, probably, we'll play around with it a bit more, try and find function for it, and then explain who it would actually be suitable for. Do you think they'll ever finish the 600i? Yeah, it's supposed to get some updates and some changes. Right. Anything else? I've got a really itchy nose. I'm so sorry while scratching it. It's because I had a COVID swab and they jammed the fucking thing so far up my nose. Oh. How many ships can you spawn at once? 3. Right. Any other quick questions? Because I am going to dash off and eat lunch in a bit. I think it's Saturday today, isn't it? So I'll get a news video up a little bit later today. Probably just be a news video. Because weekend I don't overly want to try and push this into work. Favorite thing to do in game right now? Bounty hunting's pretty fun for me, just because it gives me something to constantly work on. The thing that I find most fun to do in Stars at the moment is participate in other people's and organisation-based events. So they'll do some sort of silly thing, or a battle royale, or some sort of silly thing on a ship. So those planned sort of community ops and organisation ops I really love. Looking forward to Ninetales Lockdown. We're still planning to support VR. As far as we're aware, we should hear a bit more about that once they have Vulkan and Gen 12 renderer in, and they sort of talk about their plans for it. It's probably going to be far in the future after release. Squadron 42 will probably have it first. What about buying vehicles as LTI tokens? How valuable do you think LTI will be in the future? If you can get it, well, basically for free, yeah, great. I do think it will raise the value of the ship when you go to sell it for in-game money and stuff. It will, lifetime insurance should follow the hull. I do think that for the most part, people will be insuring beyond lifetime insurance in-game, because lifetime insurance will probably only sort of insure the default loadout of the ship, and you're going to be customizing those ships, and you're going to want to, insure those components. It's going to probably be much more valuable than the ship. Is there an estimate for when the Crusader Hercules will be delivered? No, but I'm expecting it at the end of May with Fleet Week. What happens if the fourth ship is spawned, but the others are flown by the people? I'm not. So the first one, if it's got no one in it, will despawn. If someone's in it, I'm not sure if it will immediately count as stolen or not. I think only when you try and respawn that ship, it will count as stolen. I haven't tested it. I've not bought any of the new paints for the Mech-Starrunner, but I have the original Belligerent Duck one. Vulcan can't wait, mainly because I'm on AMD. Cool. Vulcan will be hardware neutral, so you don't have to worry about doing some sort of works or whatever super optimized thing for NVIDIA or AMD or anything else that comes out in the future. You explain Vulcan other than the things you mentioned. It's hardware neutral in the fact that it won't specifically favor AMD or NVIDIA, which means they can just generally optimize the game and support some Vulcan and stuff like that as well. So that's a great thing for the game. It has a load of benefits over DirectX 12. Should see a load of optimizations for sort of what they can show on screen, the amount of resources that sort of are divided between your computer, and how it utilizes them. So general optimizations, and you will see the game look better because of it as well. Why do they do such an inadequate job of fixing trade? Trade is working significantly better than it was in 3.12. I need to actually do a full thing to see how it works in live. Is it viable as a job role? Thanks for what you do, man. I watch all your videos. Thanks for being a positive part of the community. No worries. I mean, I'm going to sometimes be a negative part of the community, I suspect. There'll be times and things I don't like. For sure. They don't always do right. And all the time they do neutral, or yes, they do good. They do a mix. It is what it is. I do love Star Citizen. I love the community, the devs. Love it all. Love it on paper. Love what it's trying to be. Quite frustrated sometimes with it, but how's the state of PvP gameplay? There are PvP gameplay players that have not much to do, and some of them will troll or camp, causing grief to other players, which isn't griefing. They will, some of them grief for sure. So Portal Lost, for example, is a hotbed of PvP activity, even though they have increased the security zone around it now to partially mitigate that. But PvP gameplay is not really supported properly by the game yet, which is annoying because there are lots of PvP players that want it to be, but they have to make their own content, and that is at odds with other people. So we need more, and we need it to be supported properly. No, it'd be amazing. I agree. I guess it's like it's a VR game or not. We'll have to wait and see how they do it. I think they can get VR into Squadron 42. Like genuinely, I think it will work. Yeah, I do have a concern with VR, especially in the persistent universe. Does the Merlin and the Connie count as one of the 3 ships you can spawn at once? Yes. Are they intent on equalizing the income potential of 360 Hercules with that of the $50 Titan? No. No. So, the value of the ship, its real life cost, does not equate to necessarily actually how valuable it is or how much money it can make in game. Do you have a video on optimal performance settings? I've got one I did recently, getting ready for 3.13. There's some on the website which help. I need to update some of them as well, though. There are more things I know how to do now. So yeah, everything's being built for physicalized buttons as well. And what I mean by that is that when you press a hotkey, when you do anything like that, you can either interact with a button in your cockpit and hold left and actually click it. But when you press a hotkey, your guy will actually flick that button as well. All the buttons should actually have function in a cockpit. There shouldn't be something there just for show. I need to ask a super newbie question. How does the database reset work? I thought you'd lose all your ships and FUC, but that's not the case. How does it work? So between patches, they try and save all the data across. So there's the long-term persistent database, and then there's sort of like a database with your character and stuff on it. So where your character looks can be changed and is just sort of reset every patch at the moment. Not part of the long-term persistent database. Not everything is part of the long-term persistent database. Anything that's currently in there is your assets, so your ships and your money, and technically your reputation. Although the reputation was reset because the reputation system in 3.13. When you reset your character, you just reset your character, location, and spawn. You shouldn't reset all of your money and ships. You can. Cargo trade. They slightly increase quantities but decrease profit margins. It still makes less than skill merchants. Okay, so it's not viable to do if you want to make grind money, which it probably should be viable to do, especially seeing the risk of 30Ks. Okay, we'll talk about that in a video. I need to actually do it for a couple of hours and listen about it, talk about my experiences and read some more people's. So 3.13 is running like a dream. Full server, getting 30 plus frames. So that's great to hear. Some people were having lots of server connection problems when it first went live, but I think that's because the servers were all booting up and stuff. You're getting high frame rates even in Lawville. I'm seeing great frame rates. Some people are not. Where's this work in progress footage from? So it's from Inside Star Citizen for the most part, I believe. And this is some of the new points of interest, the colonialism or colonial outposts that they're building for Pyro and some of the edge frontier systems. And steps towards player hubs and player bases. Bring on the Star Citizen ship NFTs. Nice. Ships come with hangars. How do you think it will work? They want physicalized hangars, addressed hangars in the game. I'm not sure if all the hangars are going to be like that. I suspect that there will be hangar hubs and lots of common areas and common landing zones, and sort of like have your ship like in a car park, which is obscured where your actual ship is for a lot of it. But I do actually suspect we will also see physicalized addressed hangars as well. I not think we'll see Star Citizen ship NFTs beyond people doing fan-made concept art and stuff for them and selling them as NFTs. Right. I'm going to dash off. I'm going to host someone else. Thank you so much for everyone that joined me today and chucked loads of money at me, you monsters. I know I'm streaming at a weird time, but I just gone for COVID swab at the hospital. I'm not sure how content's going to be disrupted on Tuesday. I'm going to the hospital for a load of tests. Soon I'll be around making videos. So we'll see what happens. Thank you so much, Stormfire and New and Splinter Pro you monster, and New you monster as well. Next Generation, loads and loads of people subbed. Well, thank you so much. Feel free to support the channel by donating, or by clicking the join button under my YouTube videos, or becoming a Patreon. Any of that helps loads. Share my videos. Send me feedback, say what you want to see. You can get me on my discord.gg/BoredGamer, or you can get me at richardboardgamer.uk. Say, hello, I want you to make this content. I'm not sure why I went for a slightly foreign accent, but I did. Love you loads, guys. I'd say 1 second. I mean, I'm not going this second. I'm going pretty soon. For someone to, No, that's me. I want me. Salty Mike is streaming, so we'll give him a restream. No, thanks for watching today. And people saying thanks for streaming. I genuinely appreciate it. It's appreciate that so many people jump in to say hello. Love you loads. I'll get a news video out later today, and we'll be doing loads of 3.13 content over the next week. Peace out. Namaste. And all that jazz. Stay sane. Stay healthy. Reach out if you need someone to talk to. And if you don't need someone to talk to, maybe go out and reach out to make sure everyone else is doing cool. Woo!